Morning, ladies and gentlemen, players and playettes, haters and hatettes. Uh, well, as you know, I'm always on the everlasting quest for knowledge and trying to figure out what exactly has been going on around me, and or what piece of information they're looking for. Uh, uh, so yesterday I came across an article about the Sumerians and the Assyrians, and pretty much what it was explaining was how one group of people had started the alphabet or writing, and another group assimilated it, but and took credit for it and changed it into their and formed it into what they want, formed it and expanded it into what they wanted people to know, and so basically what that amounts to me is um, in present day is like the information that they give us. It's written by a man, so if a man wants to change your thoughts and your process, all he has to do is write in those books and serve them to you at school. And something I said for a long time, that what are laws and morals, and there is the plantation of what laws and morals are, where does it start from, but then man interceded and added additional rules and regulations or whatever have you to conform to their needs and standards and put certain people on the pedestal. Okay. Secondly, uh, I've always believed in the arts being dance, music. Um, you know, Words are art. There's many forms of art, and it brings you to the concept of your left side brain, and your right side of brain, and that we only use a certain amount of our brain. And they call them, and it's been called arts, and it's been separated, arts and education. But to me, education was separated from knowledge. Knowledge is what we're born with, type of instinct that when we're born, we know how to do certain things because we're connected to the earth. And education is what man has taught us. Now they both serve a purpose, but you can't put one to the side. And so we've been bred to feed off education instead of our knowledge, which has took away our ability to use our left side of the brain, and only left certain people, who pursued that avenue to be able to expound and use some of what the Creator has given us. Now, back on the subject of communications, there's back in the day we had hieroglyphics, which were basically pictures that of individual items, and when you put those items together, they form a thought. So now that brings me back to me being studied, and me being studied. I recall one day watching a movie, and these guys were jibber jabbering, and I thought I could understand words, and I believed I did understand words coming from that jibber jabbers. And later on, when I was taken to the hospital, and these dudes, whatever they did to me, tried to kill me, whatever it did, I was listening into them and gaining information about some of the things that were happening by listening to what was coming out their mouth, and not necessarily the words themselves. So my way to explain this would be the word Mexica warrior. Well, with my slur, my lazy speak, Mexica warrior could be easily interpreted as my seeker and worrier, one who worries and one who looks for, and or for example, uh, despicable me could be desperta o me, which would be, wake up to us, to the gods, to the creator. And my explanation for this is that we were educated. Education has changed throughout the ages. So the and words and the way to pronounce them is something that was taught to us, but it doesn't mean that it's necessarily correct. And so there could be different ways to pronounce these things, and sometimes you might not even know it, but they form ideas and thoughts given to us by the world, by the creator. For example, what I'm trying to say is that we have a natural compass inside of us, and in this natural compass is what has enabled us to survive from day one, when there was nothing on the earth. And when there was nothing on earth, or no buildings and no cars, how did we figure out how to survive? It was by our natural compass. We had to know what to do. Nobody taught us what to do, but we learned it, by the creator, the sun, and the powers that be, the natural compass inside of us. And so I'll give you another example. Today is my birthday, December 8th. But birthday can easily be interpreted as first day. The first day that you come upon this side of the earth, this side of the universe. All-star Converse. Our stars converse. There's different ways to interpret these words, and I believe this is something that was bred out of us in order to serve a different type of God. Now, I've always believed that, me being prideful, I believe that my blood and my people became, we have our own bloodline, which may or may not be true, but on the other side of that, my people encompass everybody. Being Mexican, Chicano, we have blacks, whites, Indians, whatever you want to call them, the rainbow. And my last example is going to be prison. I was sent to prison for about 18 years, but I heard prism. Prism is a two-sided, let's say, glass, a looking glass. It's clear, see-through, but if you shine light through it, it gives you a multitude of colors. And so, while that's a perfect example for what's been going on in society, where they try to hold us in and keep us prisoner, but in actuality, our natural form is to expound on nothing. The light from the sun is what gives us those varieties and those different colors of the world. And so maybe we are all just one people, and we just been bred to believe in something else, and bred into separation and oppressed by people's need to control, a want for power, or for people thinking that they're better than one another. And if we get back to what's natural and what we know. The world is ours. And what worries me today is that what they call the arts, which I believe is just our natural instinct and what we need and do naturally, it's been slowly bred out the system, like in schools and stuff. They used to teach that, even if just a little bit, and they taking it away from the children and just making us robots, just breeding us to be present day slaves, not just colored people, everybody. They're taking away what's given to us from day one, not day one the day you were born, the day one the day the earth was born. And just some food for thought. And thank you and blessings.